So with the recent conclusion of Hazbin Hotel, I would like to give my opinions on the series, what I liked, what I didn't like, and my overall thoughts on it. So welcome everybody, I am the Deck System and I hope you enjoy my Hazbin Hotel review. First I want to tackle the aspect of the show that I didn't like and then move on to what, in my opinion, Hazbin Hotel has done really well. So I think the perfect start and the biggest flaw of Hazbin Hotel is what everybody has been criticizing for its pacing. Let's be honest with ourselves here. Hazbin Hotel needed more episodes, with every episode seeming to having a great concept, but due to its limited amount of time they had, the payoff felt a bit lackluster, with the biggest examples of this problem being in scrambled eggs, with Vaggie not fucking up enough in order to feel useless about disappointing Charlie. In that it died with Lucifer and Charlie not having enough back and forth to result into a really heartfelt reconciliation, and most importantly of all, in the show must go on. The finale especially, I think, suffered the most from this problem, because having the main cast fight against exterminators, and the narrative message being that sinners can be redeemed, and everybody deserves a second chance, felt really rushed due to how little we have seen of these characters. Angel Dust and Sir Pensius especially, because even though we have seen these characters change, particularly Angel with him having the best episode to his name, we didn't get enough subtle changes in order for this to feel earned. Also, speaking about salty, this show has a problem of being a little too on the nose. You don't have to tell me every single detail about what's happening on screen. Show it to me. I'm being a little hyperbolic here, but in a lot of instances, this show just straight up tells us what's going on, and that derives from the emotional impact that it would otherwise have. A few examples of this phenomenon is in Hello Rosie, with Charlie just straight up telling us why she's mad at Vaggie, without any subtext involved, and that, at least for me, made the reconciliation felt kind of cheap. Moreover, in Scrambled Eggs, Vaggie's song is literally about how she feels that if she's not of any help to Charlie, she has no value, so she will be her armor all of her life. Which, I guess, but couldn't you have shown this instead of having Vaggie literally singing half her character away? But I digress. Now, having seen Hell of a Boss, I had high expectations for the world building of Hazbin Hotel, and don't get me wrong, it's definitely there. Pentagram City is a really cheeky but cool idea for a place located in Hell, but we don't really explore the city, like, at all. We see Cannibal Town and wherever Carmilla Carmine is, but that's just about it. I hope we explore Pentagram City more in Season 2 because it's such a cool idea to go to waste. One minor problem that I also have on this show is that it sometimes adds comedy on really heavy and impactful scenes. A great example of this happening is in The Show Must Go On, when people are literally fighting for their lives and then we have fucking Vox commenting like a reaction channel. Like, it's one thing to do it once or twice, and it's a whole other to constantly show up and ruin a lot of intense, dramatic or sentimental moments. Like, come on! I think my last criticism that I have for this show is its consistency. A lot of Hazbin Hotel characters, particularly Alistair, can act one way in an instance and on the same episode act completely different. As I said, Alistair is the one who embodies this problem the most, with him acting like he doesn't care about the hotel and all of this is for his own amusement, and then later on he suddenly cares about it and its purpose. And I know what you're about to say, it's because of his plan, he's scheming something or something along those lines, and I mean, I guess, sure, but there are moments where he seems like he actually cares about the hotel, like in That Be Dad, where he throws Mimsy out. To me, it seems like the writers of this show want to have their cake and eat it too, where they want Al to be this mysterious, powerful, evil overlord that has ulterior motives, and they also want him to be the part of the hotel. Angel also kinda suffers from this problem, but that more stems from the show being rushed and having only 8 episodes, so I will give him a pass. Alright, since we're done with all of this negativity, let's hop on to what I actually liked from this show. And what better way to start than with the characters. I think all of the characters from this show are simply great. With the exception of only Nifty, I think all of the characters were portrayed perfectly. Angel Dust especially, I think, is the absolute best this series has to offer, with him having the best episode to his name, Masquerade. Now, I know there are controversies regarding this episode, but for what it did try to say, I think it did a pretty good job. The portrayal of someone coping with abuse and how that affects both his mental and physical health was absolutely astonishing. Also, I believe the insight this show gave us how people who go through that sort of trauma deal with their abuse, and a portrayal of the sex industry in general was simply masterful. Poison particularly did a phenomenal job at portraying all of the previous things that I already mentioned. It really made you sympathize with Angel a lot, if by any chance the previous scene somehow didn't get to you. Charlie, I believe, was handled really well, with her being both a sweetheart and a dreamer, but not always being this cartoonishly happy-go-lucky person, because yes, she can get angry, she can get sad, her kindness and optimism are not her only traits. She feels like a real human in that sense. I also like her aspiration and goals, the duty and empathy she feels for her people, that no matter how they treat her, she will try to save them, because she feels it's her responsibility as the Princess of Hell. Also, fuck you, Katie Killjoy. That girl Charlie out here is trying to save everyone and fighting against heaven, and you're insulting her. Seriously? One last thing I like about Charlie is her parallels to her father, and the fact that she gives us an insight of how Lucifer was when he was younger. Moving on to Vaggie, I really like her. Despite her character arcs not being executed as well as I hoped, I love the concept of a fallen angel that sees the wrong in the system she's fighting for, defying it, paying the price, and then fighting to become a better individual on the side of whom she was fighting against. I would prefer if she got her wing backs after sparing loot, because it would make it feel more earned, but it's fine. Also, her personality is really entertaining and likable, with her being a strong individual who is willing to give her life for the people she loves. On top of that, I love her and Charlie as a couple. I have seen a lot of people saying that they found this ship to be stale or unseasoned, but I personally don't see it that way. I like seeing healthy romantic relationships. I like seeing two individuals being cute with one another. The only complaint that I have is the same that I have for the rest of this show, and it's that we didn't get to see enough of these two. Seriously, if this was a manga, I would easily read 30 chapters of these two being cute with one another. Overall, Vaggie is great. She's my number 3 favorite character from this show, and I think she has rightfully earned her spot. Continuing to Alastor, I enjoy the concept of his character. As a powerful overlord who has found himself in an unfortunate situation and is scheming a plan in order to free himself from whatever shackles he was put on. His personality also is so entertaining, to his calm but threatening demeanor, to his petness and how downright scary he can be. Moreover, I freaking love his voice and his overall aesthetic. I think out of everyone in the series, aesthetically I vibe with Alastor the most. Now about Husk. I vibe with him. I said previously that aesthetically I vibe with Alastor more than anyone. Well, I vibe with Husk more than anyone else in every other sense. His I'm so done with his bullshit personality is comedy gold and makes any situation he's in 10 times better. His backstory as a former overlord who has sold his soul to Alastor to keep his power and has faced the consequences is interesting enough, and his and Angel's relationship is just amazing. Now to clarify, I don't see them as a couple. It's fine if you do, but I personally don't. I see them more as two friends which each of them have gone through some tough times and now they have each other for support. One last thing about Husk that I like is that he changed throughout the episodes and that he became a more endearing and kind person while keeping the core aspects of his characters more or less the same. Would you look at that? Disney can in fact do subtlety. Sir Pensius is one of those characters who are just there for pure comic relief, but you just can't help but love. He's so fun, to the way he speaks, to his minions, to the fact that he has a crush on Cherry Bomb, and that he's portrayed as a total loser but is actually incredibly crafty and kind-hearted. Also, the reveal at the end that sinners can go to heaven if they have a virtuous death was incredible, and I think his death was executed very well. At first, I had mixed feelings about it, because seemingly he died for nothing and his death was just played for laughs. But to have him die in such an honorable but pathetic way in order to show how sinners can go to heaven, I think it fits him. So props to that. Also, I'm adding Nifty here because I am very indifferent about her. She's fun to watch, but her character doesn't serve any other purpose than that. I like the fact that she killed Adam, that was fun. As for our last member of the good guys, we have my number 2 favorite character on the show, Lucifer Morningstar. I love Lucy. This interpretation of the devil is very interesting. As someone who is not really evil at all, I would say, but had revolutionary ideas that would further improve the state of the world, but had tremendously backfired, and then being punished by an unfair and unjust system for only wanting to help. Furthermore, his personality is adorable, but also melancholic as well, seeing how can someone cope with the depression of being rejected and beaten down so many times in a world where he's constantly reminded of his own failure, to then having his daughter pull him out of that misery by trying to fix the situation. The only problem that I have is the one I keep referring to, and that his character arc was resolved a bit too quickly. Also, did Lucifer cheat on Lilith with Eve? The V's are real oddballs in this series, and yes, I am grouping them as one. Velvet is fun to watch, although she doesn't really have anything going on for her character. Valentino is one of those characters which you just love to hate. On top of that, I like the portrayal of an immature piss baby being such a disgusting predator, because it further solidifies that anybody can be an abuser no matter their intelligence, strength, or pretty much anything, as long as they have power. Now, about Fox. I don't really care about him. Don't get me wrong, he's fun to watch most of the time, and he sure has potential to be a threatening and intriguing villain, but as of now he's only there to further my curiosity on Alistair. All in all, the V's are fine, they are entertaining, and they have a lot of potential to be great villains in the future. Now, when I first saw Adam, I didn't really think I would like him very much, since I'm not very keen on the stereotypical fuckboy that a lot of series have, but god damn was I proven wrong. Adam is hilarious in this show. I think out of everyone in the series, he's the one who has made me laugh the most, but his dick jokes can get a bit tiring after a while. His character is also very intriguing, with him being the first man and being promised to be the king of Earth, while having everyone praise him is a compelling backstory, and one that complements his personality really well. His narcissism coming from his inflated ego from said promise, and his racism towards sinners being from the fact that he views that they are at fault for losing everything he was promised. Moreover, his relationship with Lute is extremely entertaining, with one being a reckless, egotistical buffoon and the other being a stuck-up rageful bitch. They have such good synergy with one another. I must say, I am quite curious as to why she's not bothered by Adam's blatant misogyny, considering how arrogant she is. Maybe it's because he's her boss? I don't know. But I must say, no matter how good Adam is as a villain in this show, the Adam from Records of Ragnarok is the one that has stolen my heart. As for the rest of the cast, I think they're fine. Camilla Carmine is alright, I like her vibe, but I think her not waging a war against the Exorcist was kind of dumb, considering how incompetent the Exorcist seemed to be when it comes to combat. Although I understand her reason for her wanting to protect her daughters, I still think it was kind of stupid. Maybe it was for Adam's holy light? I don't know. The rest of the overlords were fine, I guess. Zestiel has a cool ass design and his personality is fascinating to say the least, and Rosie is not what I expected, but she was a pleasant surprise to be sure. Her attitude throughout Hello Rosie was enjoyable, but her giving romantic advice to Charlie is kinda weird considering she is a cannibal. But I guess cannibals can experience love too. I guess. Mimsy is okay. I found her kind of annoying at first, but she has her own charm. Cherry Bomb is badass and a pretty humorous character to watch, and I like how she was utilized in Welcome to Heaven for tempting Angelus to fall back to his dependencies, along with her and Serpentius' dynamic. Emily is alright. I like the concept of her character, being someone who is participating in a corrupted system, trying to fix it from the inside, along with her parallels to Charlie. Her personality is also really sweet, but sadly we didn't get enough time to meet her properly. Sarah is intriguing as a character. I like that her core motivation was fear of ending up like Lucifer, that's why she sustains the status quo. There's a personality we haven't really seen much of, or anyone at that matter. Yes, I am still salty about this, so I'm indifferent. I'm finally done with the characters, so let's move on to them. The plot of Hazbin Hotel is fairly simple. Overpopulation in hell, so a lot of sinners die, hotel tried to send sinners to heaven, no more killings, everyone is happy, the end. Now, a lot of people have criticized Hazbin for simply killing its premise at literally the first episode, and at first I agreed with those people, but after finishing the show, I believe the fact that heaven was against redemption from the very beginning actually benefited the story's overall message about redemption and second chances. That even in an unjust and corrupted world, you should try to become a better person, not for any reward or prize, but just for yourself. On top of that, the fact that it's not heaven who is trying to help the sinners rehabilitate, and it's just other sinners who have also made mistakes in the past, further emphasizes that you can be given a second chance by anyone and not just by the good guys. In addition, the fact that Hazbin Hotel outright states that heaven has no intention of helping the sinners further solidifies the idea of what it truly means to be a good person, and just because the society you live in labels one person as evil and the other one as good, doesn't mean those people are truly good or evil. That is why I like the fact that they showed mercy to both Lute and Adam in the finale, even though they had killed a bunch of exorcists before, but that was self-defense. Narrative-wise, only those two matter, so it's fine. Furthermore, I like the fact that out of everyone, Nifty killed Adam, because he's the only one who doesn't seek redemption in any meaningful way. I guess Alistair as well, but you get the point. Overall, I think Hazbin Hotel's plot, narrative and themes were handled extremely well, with everyone, to our heroes and to our villains, be given a second chance and redemption, even though it was rushed. Now, I'm going to be real with you. I really like the comedy of Hazbin Hotel. As someone who likes sections in general, yes, I know, I pretty much liked what the series has to offer. Even if it sometimes was distasteful or flat out unnecessary, the overall comedy of the show was good, so yeah, props to that. Overall, I would give Hazbin Hotel an 8 out of 10. Despite its flaws like needing more episodes, to its inconsistencies, to its weird comedic timing, to its lackluster world building and to its absence of subtlety, I believe Hazbin Hotel has presented a pretty good story, with lovable characters, an original concept, good comedy and great themes. But that's how I interpreted this series, so please tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Also, while you're down there, please tell me if you liked me doing script type videos. Personally, I think it fits me more, but I would love to hear your opinion on it. So, I thank everybody who watched this video and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.